Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your Thursday. I'm Jeanelle Slade. A strong reminder to Montanans tonight, now is not the time to become complacent about COVID-19. Almost 2 weeks after Governor Steve Bullock lifted the stay-at-home order and people enter back into the public, today Bullock adds additional guidelines to open even more businesses. Now, if you're tired of watching movies from your couch and you want to get back in the gym, listen up. It may be sooner than you expected. Today, Governor Bullock announced additional Phase 1 guidelines to allow gyms, movie theaters, and museums to open beginning Friday, May 15th. They can operate at 50% capacity and with a whole slew of updated cleaning guidelines and rules. Many businesses have taken advantage of this time to make needed renovations and updates.
Get some preparations done. You know, pools don't fill up overnight. Getting all of our facility ready, and the biggest thing is getting our staff all back on board after being gone 6 weeks is a lot of work. But our team is really excited and looking forward to opening our doors.
I think with being closed for 50 some days, people have learned a lot. It's like another family to a lot of people. They just, one of the main part is they get to see people and talk to people along with working out and staying healthy.
Now for the list of complete rules for gyms, fitness studios, movie theaters, and museums to open and maintain, go to this story at KTVQ.com. Well, this as Gallatin County confirms 2 more positive coronavirus cases tonight. Now that addition upping the active cases to 25 across Montana and 6 patients hospitalized. Those 25 active cases are spread between 11 different counties, 5 of them here in Yellowstone County. While this week's COVID-19 numbers are somewhat encouraging, health experts say they could also be deceptive. Q2's Russ Riesinger checked in with the Yellowstone County medical officer today to find out why. Russ.
Well, these days we've been having lately with 0 or just 1 or 2 new cases reported are a real good sign. But the thing to remember, according to Yellowstone County Health Officer John Felton, is that it has still not even been 2 weeks since businesses began reopening, and it's just been a few days for restaurants and bars. So Felton says what we're seeing now with current counts predates the reopening because of the incubation period involved. And he does expect an uptick again ahead because of that. Now, still, for most of Montana, the news continues to be good in the battle to keep the coronavirus from spreading. You can see on this map all the counties to the east and the north of Yellowstone County, particularly in the green there, that haven't reported a single case of COVID-19. That includes 26 of Montana's 56 counties overall. Still, Felton says now is not the time to become complacent.
Fleetwood Mac said it best when they said, don't stop thinking about tomorrow. So things are looking good right now, but we haven't yet reached the point that we would expect to see the cases from the initial reopening. And then we're still probably close to 2 weeks away from seeing the effects of the reopening of bars and restaurants. So people have done really well in terms of following the guidelines up till now. It's just not time to think that this is all behind us. So we need to keep being vigilant.
And Felton says during this Phase 1, it's still especially important for the elderly and people with compromised health conditions to continue to shelter at home. And again, he says still too early for any of us really to let our guard down. Jeanelle?
All right. Thanks so much, Russ. Well, some of Montana's students headed back to class today. Willow Creek School in Gallatin County reopened, becoming one of the first schools in the country to do so. The small town of Willow Creek had 2 school buses running this morning, making sure all of the kids followed social distancing requirements. Teachers and staff greeted students at the door with temperature checks before entering the school. Willow Creek has a total of 56 students. 40 of those have returned to finish out the school year. The school's principal says they decided to reopen today in order to help students get used to the many changes and then have the weekend to let it all soak in. The coronavirus pandemic is also impacting state revenue. Today, Governor Mark Gordon called a special session of the legislature to deal with the issue in Wyoming. Now, that session is set for May 14th. This first special session in more than 15 years. It will also focus on how to spend Wyoming's $1.25 billion of federal relief. Well, just 1 day after Wyoming's largest one-day increase in COVID-19 cases, today the state reports only 4 new cases. Wyoming still has the least amount of coronavirus-related deaths across the country. As expected, today in South Dakota, confirmed cases jumped more than 100 as test results came back from employees at a Sioux Falls meatpacking plant. There are now 846 active cases in the Mount Rushmore state. And now onto the weather scene. And just as Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire always promises, snow in May.
I have proof positive. We got pictures for you. Let me show them to you. May snow. That's right. It happens here. Take a look at this. This is McDonald Pass as of this morning, folks. Yeah, look at that, huh? And over here at his Monarch Canyon, little snow in that area as well. And over there at Lewistown Divide, look at that. There's a lot of snow in that area. One other place. Let's go over here to Judith Gap. Chris Wolf got this picture of her backyard. And boy, I tell you what, there's a lot of snow up there. Look at Lewistown, 13 inches of snow. Near Nyhart in Cascade County, 12 inches of snow. Judith Gap, 4 inches, 3 inches at Wilsall, and 1 inch at Polaris. That's over in Beaverhead County in the southwest corner of the state. Here in Billings, we had no snow, but we did have 0.12 inches, 1/1200ths of an inch of rainfall this morning. And it looks like we'll probably see some more rain tomorrow. We'll chat about that coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Bob. Well, as COVID-19 has swept across the nation, sporting events and seasons of all sorts have been postponed or canceled. Well, today we add another Montana favorite to that list. This morning, the Missoula Marathon race director announced the race has officially been called off. Over the past 14 years, the race has gained national popularity. In fact, in 2009, it was named the #1 marathon in the country by Runner's World magazine. Now, starting today, Montanans who find themselves facing limited resources due to COVID-19 can get some assistance through $123 million in emergency grants. One program receiving money is the Emergency Housing Assistance Program, which can help provide rent, security deposit, mortgage payments, and other assistance on issues resulting from job loss. MTN spoke with Montana Housing Operations Manager Cheryl Cohen about what applicants can do to help streamline their application.
Really recommend that applicants use Foxfire or Chrome. And for technical or troubleshooting issues, they can email support@submittable.com. That's the quickest way to get a response if an applicant is having challenges getting through the application process or uploading the required documents.
And as our communities work to rebound, and you can catch all of those rebound stories on our website, KTVQ.com. Well, COVID-19 precautions have also altered the work for chaplains at the 2 Billings hospitals. Outside clergy are now not allowed into the hospitals except in near-death cases. Chaplains visit more at Billings Clinic, but also rely on other ways for patients to communicate. St. Vincent chaplains are now visiting individual patients in place of their normal clergy.
We receive a lot of phone calls from folks, either from patients themselves or from their families, saying in the absence of our pastor being able to go up and see our loved one, could you do that for us? And that cuts across all denominational issues, of course, and so we do a lot of that.
The flow of patients coming in for routine procedures and day surgeries and even traumas and all the accidents that usually happen when people are out driving around and going to the store, that those have all decreased. So it's been a mix of both worlds.
And we'll hear more from both chaplains tonight on the Q2 10 o'clock news. Well, an annual event honoring teachers has been canceled, but an adjustment to the reveal still made for a celebration today.
I can't even put words to this. I'm so appreciative.
This is how Bitterroot Elementary School Principal Kevin Croft and 5 other educators were rewarded with Golden Apple Awards today. The Billings Education Association and the Teachers Union chose 6 outstanding educators to exemplify excellence in education. This year, the announcement happened on Zoom, and a drive-by recognized each recipient. And the 6 Golden Apple Award recipients are Stacy Bird of Poly Drive. She's a 2nd grade teacher there. Kevin Croft, Shirley Green, Lewis and Clark Middle School life science teacher, Natalie Miller, Beartooth secretary, Alice Nation, senior high school Spanish teacher, and Paula Simcox, a 1st grade teacher at McKinley. Now, normally the 6 Golden Apple winners are honored at the Education Appreciation Awards banquet, but that has been canceled, and we'd like to say congratulations to everyone. Ahead on tonight's 5:30 news, soon you'll see primary ballots arriving in your mail, but there are a few things you need to know before filling it out. And in sports, Scott joins us from Amon Park, where they're underway with a new synthetic turf field.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger, Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire, and sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 news on Q2, Montana's news leader.